Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a review slash demo, not really a demo, more so like of a play around of the Huda Beauty Rose Gold palette. Now I realize that I'm really late with doing this, but I thought that, you know, considering that the new palette is coming out and there's been talk of this one being discontinued, I was like, oh my god, I need to get it now before it's too late, or, you know, like prices just randomly decide to go up. So I thought for those who are still really undecided about getting this palette, because I know there actually are a lot of people out there that are really scared to spend the amount of money this one costs, especially in Australia. This one is at $95 in Sephora, so for a palette, like, it's not like giant or anything like that, but for a palette that is extremely expensive, and I kind of had a stroke while paying for this. It was a bit intense. So yeah, I'm just going to play around, see how this, you know, palette works. I'm thinking of doing one look on one eye and then another look on the other eye, just so I don't kind of just stick with a neutral eye and then everyone's like, okay, well, brown smoky eye, whatever, we can do that with any palette type of thing. So I really want to give this palette a good try. So let's just get started. So you can obviously tell that I've already done my entire face other than my eyes. This is just going to be an eye tutorial today. I'm not going to be doing anything else other than my eyes. Okay, so we're just gonna... Why the fuck was that so hard? Anyways, so this is the palette here. I really like the clear packaging on it. I feel like though this is going to like bend really easily. That's the only thing that I'm a little bit concerned about, that it might bend really easily. Anyways, these are the colors right here. Now my main concern was when I was purchasing this was, am I going to use this color? Am I going to use that? What about that? What about, you know, like I was just going through my head over and over and over, like, am I going to use all of these shades? And I'm hoping to do so at some point, you know, obviously not today, but I'm going to try and, you know, use this palette as much as I can, especially if I really like it. That will be a good one. It's going to be really hard for me to probably love this more than my Modern Renaissance, because that palette's my life. So hopefully this might be a new favorite. Okay, so the first shade I'm going to go in with is Sandalwood. That's pigmented as shit. And like when I'm like dipping it in, there's like fallout, but like honestly, like there's such a tiny little amount. So I'm just going to pop Sandalwood in my crease. Wow, not bad. Not bad at all. Oh, by the way, if you're wondering what is on my lips, it is the Tarte lip paint in the shade Bestie. I only just recently got this when I ordered this, so I thought I'd just pop that on. Okay. That blended so freaking good. That was really easy to blend. Wow. And it's so easy to just like build the color up as well. Wow, okay. I'm like really impressed right now. It's a good start to the video. Okay, so I'm just using the same brush, by the way. I'm just using a Morphe. Sorry, my camera decided to die as I was in the middle of talking. Anyway, so I'm going with the same fluffy brush, and I'm going to take the shade Henna, which is right next to Sandalwood. Literally no fallout with this, like, can you see this? Not even mad. And I'm just going to kind of like pop that on my outer V and then like slowly work it through the crease. Holy shit! The color payoff, the pigment, and the blending, oh my god. Literally so good. I'm just going to take a big fluffy brush and I'm just going to like buff out the edges a bit more. This has nothing on it either, so it's just going to clean it up. Holy crap. It's just so like beautifully blended. I can't can't fault that. Okay, so I'm just going to take a more defined detail brush, and I'm going to take the black shade, which is Black Truffle. Now, my favorite black eyeshadow to use in this world is Corrupt by Makeup Geek, so... And I'm just going to pop that on my outer V. Oh, this brush is bloody wet. I probably shouldn't use a wet brush. What am I doing? Okay, I'm going to take an even smaller brush. And then I'm going to go in with my first blending brush. I'm just going to blend these out. It's not the easiest to blend. But let's be honest, like what bloody black eyeshadow is easy to blend? Okay, there we go. We're getting there. I'm just going to dip my brush back into Sandalwood and Henna. And I'm just going to use that to blend out the black a lot more. That's so much better. Wow, okay. To be honest, Corrupt by Makeup Geek does take a little bit longer to blend. So I'm a bit impressed right now. Okay, I like really want to play with some of these colours on the top. Now we've all heard about these ones. Let's get real. So I am going to try with the brush and I'm going to try with my finger. So the first one I'm going to go in with is Dubai, and then I'm going to go in with Trust Fund as well, which is this gorgeous copper shade. Yeah, I'm going to go in with Dubai. Bit of pigment on there, okay. On the brush they feel very like moussey and creamy. Okay, there is fallout. I don't know if you can see that, but there is a bit of fallout. Is this one of the shadows that people are complaining about? Because like, that went on friggin' awesomely. I'm gonna try with my finger now, so I'm just gonna like, that feels so nice. Wow. Okay. Honestly, it looks exactly the same. Using your finger, using a brush, looks exactly the same. Of course, you have to use a power tool right now. Are you serious? Anyways, so I'm just gonna like kind of blend out the edges a bit and blend that into the black. I'm gonna use the same brush, but I'm just gonna flip it over and then I'm gonna go in with Trust Fund. Now, this is definitely one of the shades that people have complained about. I remember it. On the brush, it's a bit eh. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna place that in my inner corner. And then a little bit like further up as well. Yeah, okay. I can see what everyone is talking about with this shade. I don't know if Dubai is one of the shades that people have been talking about, but that shade was awesome. Okay, yeah, I can kind of see like the problem. It is extremely chunky. There is so much fallout right now. I don't know if you guys can see all the fallout, but it's a bit intense. Okay, I'm gonna try with my finger. I'm gonna use my pinky. It's so creamy. Yeah, see, like it's so pigmented on my finger, but on my brush it really wasn't. Okay, so that color is much better with your finger, which is a shame because you don't always want to have to use your finger, which means, you know, you're gonna end up like this. Honestly, it's really not like the worst thing in the entire world. Like, let's be honest, but when you're paying $95 for a palette, you kind of want it to just be super easy to use. Mind you, the only ones that had fallout were those glittery shimmery shades. The other three were completely fine. Okay, so for my lower lash line, I'm going to go in with Henna, and it's this shade here next to Sandalwood, and I'm going to pop that under my lower lash line. So far, those colours were fine. Like, the fallout was a bit annoying, but, you know, sometimes you just really can't help that. The blending, honestly, like my blending is not the most amazing when it comes to eyeshadow, but honestly, like, I had no effort put in with those shadows. They just did it all by themselves. That was really, really good. The only shade that really upset me was the Trust Fund shade. But you know what? Still a beautiful shade, still going to use it. Really not a big fat deal. Quickly, I'm going to use Moon Dust. Just on a shader brush. I'm going to pop that in my inner corner, and I am going to use it also as a brow bone highlight. Now this shade, hello. Okay, so far, very impressed. Bit of a, you know, downer with that one shade, but oh well. Okay, so I'm gonna do the other eye now. I'm gonna go in with this shade right here, which is Bossy, and I'm gonna use that on a fluffy Morphe brush. And I'm just like dabbing it in, twirling it like, you know, as you do. No fallout, no nothing, just a shit ton of pigment. I'm gonna pop that in my crease. That blended out so well. And I only ever dipped in once, and that was the color payoff. Like, are you serious? I'm next gonna go in with the shade, Man Eater. And I'm just going around. Literally no fallout at all, just a shit ton of pigment. Then I'm gonna put that in my outer V and through my crease. Are you serious? Oh my god. These are so pigmented. And like, you know, sometimes with like a lot of shadows when like you like dip it into the pan and you're like, oh, that's so pigmented. You put it on, then you start buffing it, and the more and more you buff it, it kind of starts to like buff away. I've had that problem with a lot of shadows, but the more and more I buff this, it just blends out and smooths out. Like the color payoff just doesn't go anywhere, it just stays. Okay, with a detailed brush, I'm gonna go in with the shade Cocoa, which is like a, it's like a cool, no, it's like a warm tone, deepy brown. I nearly went to that eye. Oh. And I'm gonna pop that all over my outer V and just kind of like bring it in. And then I'm going to dip my brush back into Bossy and Man Eater, and I'm just going to blend those out. I think I'm going to use like 3 shades on my lid. I know that sounds really, really weird, but I really want to try this and I want to see if it actually is going to work. So the first shade I'm going to go in with is this one here, which is called Fling. And I have a feeling this one's going to be quite good. That's so creamy. I can feel that on the end of my brush. So I'm just going to put this all over. Wow. Oh, that's really freaking nice. Yeah, I love that. Can you guys see how like shimmery and sparkly that is, but it's still got so much pigment behind it? Okay, the next shade I'm going to go in with, flip this around, is the Rose Gold shade. Now, I can tell this one's going to have problems, but let's just try. Oh, yep, there it is. It just kind of like flakes all over the place and it's really hard for my brush to pick it up. Yeah, there's like a tiny little bit being put on. So I'm just going to put my finger on there once again. There we go. Once again, you have to use your finger, which is a bit shit, but it's pretty beautiful. I mean, you can't deny that it's not pretty. I'm then just going to go in with that detailed Morphe brush. I'm just going to blend the edges. With a really defined Morphe brush, I'm going to go in with the Angelic shade, which is this one right here. And it is really beautiful. It's like pink and gold. Whoa, that's that pigment straight away. Can you guys see that? Woo! That's so pretty. Alright, I'm just going to pack this on my inner corner and use that as an inner corner highlight as well. Okay, so that Angelic shade, really freaking love. Okay, so I'm going to go back in with the shade Bossy and a little bit of Man Eater. I'm going to pop that on my lower lash line. Okay, so for my brow bone highlight, I'm going to be using this shade right here, which is called Bay. Why you gotta do that? Why you gotta name it that? Okay, so I know I'm looking like really, really, really weird and crazy right now. So this is all I'm going to do for my eyes today. I'm not going to go on with eyeliner or anything like that because I'm only trying out these. But if I'm completely honest, like I have not cleaned up the palette. I have not touched it. I haven't, you know, swiped away any fallout or anything like that. I've just kept moving with the palette. And to be honest, like I thought I would mess it up so much more. Like there is like a little bit of glitter and whatnot around here and just a little bit, you know, going on. But seriously, wasn't even an issue. With that second look that I did, I've only got like a really tiny amount of fallout, and I'm like trying to find my brush to clean it up. But I did have more fallout on this eye. Okay, so my thoughts on this palette. It's incredible from the shades that I have used. Obviously I need to test it out a lot more because, you know, this can't really justify everything. But from using this today, I freaking love it. I don't necessarily think it's going to overtake my Modern Renaissance palette at the moment, but you never know. I feel like this is quite a versatile palette. I feel like this is a very easy palette to use. There is obviously very neutral tones that you can use in this palette. It's not more so of just like a, oh my god, there's crazy pinks in this, so I'm never going to use that. I feel like it is just a palette that you could definitely take on holiday, or a palette that you can just take on its own, knowing that you can do lots of different kind of looks with it. So now the big one, do I think this is worth $95? I guess so, yeah, because to be honest, the shadows have some amazing pigment in them. They blend like 10 out of 10. The pigment is 10 out of 10. Unfortunately, just for those two shades, they were a letdown. But honestly, if you're gonna let two shadows ruin an entire palette, then there's really no point in you buying this. I'm not gonna let two shadows ruin such a beautiful palette. You can still use them with your finger, they're just not going to work the greatest with a brush. If you want a more subtle look with those two colors, then yes, they are going to work, you know, pretty well with you. But to be honest, this is definitely worth the money in my opinion. This is an amazing palette. I'm definitely going to use it heaps more. So that is pretty much my video for today, you guys. I really hoped you enjoyed this type of video and, you know, you had fun probably making fun of me of the way I look right now. If you enjoyed today's video, you guys, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, as it would mean so much to me. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel before you leave, and click on the little bell so you'll receive the notifications when I upload a new video. But until next time, you guys, I will see you soon. Bye!